Hey everybody, Jed Demlow from Jed Demlow Productions coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee. I want to go over this new Songwriter Toolkit MIDI pack that I just came out with. I think that a lot of people will find this extremely useful. So I just kind of want to show you guys how it works, go over some of the features in Easy Keys 2, and we'll just kind of go from there. So let's go ahead and jump right into this thing. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Now, keep in mind that you can use any of these patterns anywhere you want in your song. You could use a verse, part of a verse for like the intro. You could use part of a chorus for the ending, and vice versa. So they can be used anywhere that you want. None of these patterns are quantized. I left them 100% unquantized because I want them to breathe and feel natural. Now, you can quantize them as much as you want. That's up to you, but I wanted to leave that choice up to you. So, and I'll show you how you can do that. Let's just go ahead and pull in a couple of things here. I just want to show you. I've got some MIDI already pulled in here, so we can do this kind of quickly. Let's grab like an intro here, and we'll just stick it in there. So you can just pull the patterns right in to your timeline. Okay, and I'm going to keep these short so this doesn't take too long. But there's a nice simple intro. Okay, and while we're here, let me show you some of these features here that are really cool. If you wanted that to be an octave higher, just that quickly, you can make that an octave higher. If you wanted to, I'll show you this amount thing here on like the verse. Let's take the verse and let's drag the verse in. Okay, and I'm going to double that. You got to hold Option and drag it over. There we go. Let's change the chord progression real quick. Okay, and let's make this G. Okay. Now, if we take these two right here and hit J, that'll turn it into one solid piece. Okay. Then if you highlight that, there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do. Here's the verse pattern. Now, if I wanted to try something different, I can hit Replace MIDI and hit like this is a verse Option now. Let me just go right to 4 so we don't have to listen to the whole thing, which is really cool. So just that quick, you can have an option there, and there's tons of options, by the way. There's at least 100 patterns that are just single patterns that I've made individually, and then I did all these freeform patterns as well. So there's probably close to 200 or more patterns total. And I'll show you what I mean by the freeform patterns here in a minute. So we could go back to that first verse, or we could use the option. I'm just going to use the first one. Okay, now if you come here and hit Save Changes, now you have printed that pattern to that little verse section there. Okay, now if we go here to Amount, you can change how many notes it's going to play, or you can make it a little bit more sparse. Check this out. Now I'm going to turn that up to like 12, so you can plus 12. Now listen to what it does. It adds notes. Really cool. So that made that pattern that I created and took it and made it more complicated. So it gave it more notes. Now, I mean, you can do that or you can not do it. It's up to you. But this is all stuff that you can play with once you get, the patterns in. Let's go to like a chorus. Okay, let's just say we got a chorus here, and we're going to drag that in. And let's go to where the chorus would hit. Now, I want to show you another way that you can do this, and this is probably the way that a lot of people would do it. You can put your cursor on the measure that you want it to be on, and then you can hit like Add Standard Groove, and that will add an 8-bar groove. So we can come here, and we can change this. Let's just change the chords real quick. You can see how easy this is to change chords. And let's just do that. Now, if we highlight that and hit replace MIDI, we can listen to the chorus MIDI going over those chord changes. Here's a chorus option. Okay, so that's cool. I'm going to use this one, the first one. So I'll hit Save Changes. Now, as I turn up this wheel, it'll add more notes. That's getting really busy now. So it may not always turn out to be exactly, what you want. That's why you want to play around with it. Sometimes a little bit goes a long way. So let's start it here at 0. Now let's see what happens if we turn that plus amount up just 3. See how it added like a little octave things there. And if we hit Option and click, it'll take it back to no added notes. If you want that whole thing to be an octave higher, so very cool. Okay, so we've got a chorus there. Now, I did want to show you this real quick. This is already labeled intro. This is labeled verse, which is fine. This is actually the chorus. So if we wanted to come up here to edit, we can come down to song part type. You can go to one of these color coordinated things and turn that into chorus so that when you're copying and pasting, it's very easy to see what you're doing. So that's really cool. Like for instance, we could click verse here, hold down Option and pull this over. Okay. And then if we wanted another chorus, we could hold Option and pull down another chorus. Okay. I'm going to get rid of those so I can show you the ending. I'm going to go ahead and pull the ending in. Just drag it right over. Let's go here so we don't have to listen to the whole thing. So here's an ending. Okay, now keep in mind that all of these patterns in this Songwriter Toolkit number 1 are really based on 8th note type beats, straight ahead, straight 8th. So like singer-songwriter type stuff, ballads, middle of the road stuff. So I mean, you can slow this down if you want to in your DAW. You could take the timing down. Let's take it down to 80 and check it out. I mean, this is going to feel a lot different now at 80. So this is really a ballad now. Okay, so, but if we took our tempo up to 120, suddenly it's more like a middle of the road, straight 8 feel. So very versatile. Basically what I like to think of these as are building blocks. They're just simple building blocks. They're chord patterns and not really progressions, but just a chord pattern. You choose your chord progression here inside of Easy Keys to tell it, what the chord progression is that you're going to want. Okay, so let's just get rid of all this stuff. Let's just highlight it. And then I want to drag in one of these freeform patterns. Okay, let's drag this down to here. And if we start it, okay, that's going to be too fast let's go back to 90. Now let's listen to a few of these. So you can see I just went through and I just played a whole bunch of patterns, rhythmic feels, simple, that I could just think of. I just kept going all the way for 30 measures. So there's a lot of stuff here on this. Now let's start right here. Now, if you go down this little bar here, you can make this larger so it's easier for you to see what's going on. Let's start right here. Let's take it to right here. Okay, so I'm going to take that section right there. I'll take my cursor here to 21 and I'm going to cut it. Then I'm going to take my cursor. Oh, here we go. Cut. Make sure I've got all these pieces cut here. Good. Let's go to 22 and I'm going to cut this. Okay. Click on my little arrow here. And now I'm just going to get rid of everything I'm not using, just so it's easy for us to see what we're doing. We can use this little bar again to make everything a lot smaller, so it's easier for us to drag that down to where we're actually going to want to use it. Then I'll make it a little bit bigger so I can see where I am. Okay, let's go to measure 2, and let's go up here in our timeline to measure 2. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and just drag this pattern that I like up into my patterns up here. Okay, so here it is. Now I'll get rid of that. And I'm just going to tell it, I'll put my little cursor here at 2, measure 2, and I'm going to tell it to do a standard groove. Highlight this. And well, let's change the chords. Change the chords. Let's just go, again, just a simple progression. Let's make this A minor just to see what happens. And then back to C. Okay, cool. Let's highlight that and hit replace MIDI. And let's replace it with that chunk that we pulled out of the freeform patterns that we liked. And let's just listen to it. Pretty cool. Okay, now if we hit save changes, we've got that. Okay, we took that one little chunk out of that huge freeform pattern that had all those patterns. There's probably 30 or 40 patterns that I played. But I heard that one little thing that I liked, and I cut it out and I stuck it in here. And now I've made my chord progression that I like. I've got that pattern, that feel, that groove. I've got that playing to this chord progression, which is really cool. Now, if we highlight this, we could make it busier. It's pretty busy right now, but let's make it a little bit busier. Let's take it up like +6. And add it just a little bit. Let's take it up to +12 so we can really hear it doing something different. Cool. Just by hitting Option click, I can take that back to the setting that it was when we started. So you can see the power of this thing. Easy Keys 2 is such a cool program, and when you stick my patterns in there, there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do. So I think that I have created enough building blocks in this particular MIDI pack for everybody. There's something that everyone can use. And if you're doing a singer-songwriter or a pop or a country type thing, this is going to be perfect for you. So try it out. Okay, so there's one more thing that I want to show you about this. This is really, really cool. Once you get, your groove and all your stuff established, you've got it all in here, you change the note amounts and all that good stuff. Oh, before I forget, I did want to show you how to quantize if you want to do that, because it's a little different. You want to make sure that you have the little note parts down here highlighted, and if you go up to edit, then it will show you the quantized parts right here, okay? So we could quantize it to quarter notes, eighth notes, 16, 32, or maybe triplets. So for this thing, probably like a triplet feel, because it's got some syncopation in it. That's right to the grid now. Okay, so if we just hit Command Z, we can undo that. Okay, now I'll show you what I was getting to. We can take this entire pattern and we can drag it all the way up here into our DAW and just drop it off. And of course I'm getting there we go. I had the wheel of death for a second there. Sometimes it gets a little weird. I'm in Studio One 5.5, by the way, which I love Studio One for MIDI stuff. Okay, so cool. We got that. Now I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the follow host so we're not going to hear things playing twice. Okay, so check it out. There it is now up in my DAW. So if I click it, now we can come down here to our MIDI editor. We could do anything we want to this. Really cool. Let's say, for instance, this part of the groove right here. Maybe you didn't want that to be quite so staccato. Let's take them and let's drag them out. Okay, you see what I did there? I'm just highlighting these notes and I'm dragging them out so they're holding on longer now. Okay, what if your bass player just doesn't want you in there at all? Let's get rid of the bass notes pretty much. Get rid of, let's just highlight stuff real quick and just get rid of it. Now we made our bass player happy. We still have the piano rhythm part, but the bass notes are gone. So anyway, you can see the power. Once you drag it into your DAW, you can do anything you want to it. So I did want to show that real quick. Hopefully that'll be helpful to you. Okay, so you can really see the power of this thing. I mean, there's so many patterns. There's so many different things that you can do with these building blocks. If you're doing a singer-songwriter type thing, a ballad, a country thing, a pop middle-of-the-road thing, a lot of this stuff is going to come in very handy for you. Especially, you know, if you don't play piano. Let's say maybe you play guitar or you're a bass player or drummer and you need keys. You know, this is a great way for you to go. So check it out. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about the sound or the patterns and stuff in the pack. And I'll look forward to talking to you again real soon. Everybody have a great day.